been a few days since my last encounter with Neil at the park, and I've all but put the memories of it behind me, secretly hoping he'll just forget about it. I've been quite busy with my store. There has been a new shipment of fabric, and I'm excited at all of the color and textures that I have available at my fingertips. I laid them all out on the counter, wondering what I should create with them. The bell rings and I look up at the door. I stop dead in my tracks when I see it's Neil again. Oh no, he's come for his watch, hasn't he? Just when I put him out of my mind. He's here to remind me again of what transpired. Neil looks around the store little bit before his gaze settles on me. Good day, Alice. I hope you're in a better control of your balance today since the last time we've met. If I'm not, I'll be sure to step on your feet this time, I reply sarcastically. Neil clicks his tongue at me, then leans his elbows onto the counter, clasping his hands together and resting his chin on top of them. He looks over at me, studying me with his eyes. I suddenly feel a little defenseless. Let's talk about my watch. I swallow, knowing this was coming. Luckily, I am not daft enough to insure such an expensive item, especially one with sentimental value. I've contacted my insurance company and will get the full amount reimbursed. I look at him blankly. Okay, that's it? He got the money back. Well, that's definitely a load off my back. This doesn't mean you're absolved of any responsibility, Neil says in a much more serious tone. He casts his eyes down to the counter, and his fingers hover over my new fabric. He seems a bit intrigued. You did still break a personal item of mine, and pray tell, what would you like me to do about it? That you've already had the money refunded. There's nothing much else I can do. Unless you want to say somehow managed to cut your finger on the broken piece of glass and would want to be reimbursed for that too. Neil frowns at me, then shakes his head a little, clicking his tongue dismissively at me again. I'm not sure if such a tiny piece of glass could ever pose a threat to me, but I'm glad you are concerned about my well-being. That's a step above yesterday's attitude. You didn't have to be so mean about it, I tell him. You want me to praise you for destroying my watch, he says dully. Should I have complimented you instead that you somehow magically knew the exact spot to drive that 3-inch heel of yours through the center of the glass? Because consider it done, you did a fine job at wrecking my watch. I cringe. He does a fine job at making me feel small and insignificant, like everything I do is wrong. His words cut like a sword. I feel like I can't compete and talk back. What do you want? I finally ask him. Neil strengthens his back. Last time, you mentioned that you'd make me a dress shirt, correct? I don't answer that. It seems an opportunity presented itself, and And while I do have my own tailor who has delivered some of the best work in the country, perhaps I can make use of your... He looks down to the fabric on the counter. Skills. I can feel his words sting with venom. He's mocking me, looking down on me. And what exactly do you want? I ask, ready to decline his offer. A well-tailored blazer, Neil says as he huffs out his chest to make a point. If it's adequate and to my tastes, I can forgive your previous actions. I want to decline so badly, but I do not much care for Neil's pompous attitude and the way he's subtly mocking my tailoring skills. However, I also realized I destroyed an expensive watch of his, and a mere sorry won't do. Plus, it seems he won't leave me alone. So I sigh and hang my head down. All right, I say. Splendid. The sooner you finish this, the sooner you can return to... He points at the mannequin standing next to the counter. This. Neil shakes his head a little. What's this doing over here anyway? You would create a much bigger impression if... Suddenly, Neil grabs hold of the mannequin and moves it away from the counter. Hey, I yell aloud. Don't just move things around in my store. Neil drops it at a place near the entrance where the sunlight hits it. See? The way the light falls from the windows of the door would make this the perfect spot to highlight your latest fashion. No one asked you to start touching and moving my mannequins around. Put it back. I look over to where Neil is, and I suddenly see his point. Placing the mannequin into the direct sunlight gives a bigger impression and makes the layout of the store more harmonious as well. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Neil grins at me. Are you sure you want me to put it back? He asks. I have this sudden urge to wipe the smudge look off his face. I scrunch up my nose. No, leave it. Just stop touching my things. You know what? I'll return another time for the measurements. How about next Friday? It's not like I can say no, so I nod my head at him. Friday is fine, I guess. Very well. I'll see you then. Good day. Neil fixes his collar, then looks at the mannequin with a nod and leaves the store. I'm never going to get rid of this guy, am I?